Today we're going to be working with arrays, and an array is a group of objects put together in a pattern. Today we're going to be creating some arrays, and we're going to be writing number sentences to match with them. So if an array is putting objects in a pattern, sort of a number pattern, today the object we're going to be working with is ants. And even though it doesn't feel very springy today, remember a couple of weeks ago when we had that nice spring weather and it was like in the 70s and people were wearing shorts and flip-flops? I started thinking a lot about picnicking. Show me a silent signal if you like picnicking also. I see some connections. I see some yeses. Okay. So not only was I thinking about picnicking, some ants were thinking about picnicking too. So I need a friend who can help me with a special part of the lesson, who can use their self-control. Let's see. Let me see who's up on outstanding. We all are.
Not at all.
Maya, can you come here? So when we get to this part in the book, I'm going to need you to hold this up so everyone can say it. So do you want to have a seat on the bench, please? So let's practice. And let's read this together. A hey and a hi-dee-ho. Okay? So when I'm going to point to Maya and she's going to hold that up and we're going to say it together. So these ants are thinking about going to a picnic. The object today that we're going to be arranging is ants. And let's see how these ants think they're going to get there quickly. I think that looks like Porter's sandwich that he had for lunch. A whole hill of hungry ants, their faces all aglow, came swarming from the forest to cross the field below. A soft breeze fanned the sunshine and whisked them on their way. It hinted of yummies for their empty tummies. That means a picnic. Hooray! Okay, look at all these ants. These are going to be the ants we're arranging today. 100 ants were singing and marching in a row. We're going to a picnic.
A hey and a hi-dee-ho.
So there's 100 ants here in one long row.
Oh.
So here's our 100 ants. I had to shrink them down because if I would have kept them the same size as these other ones, they would have been marching all the way into Mrs. Waldron's room. So this is one row of how many ants? Taylor?
100.
This is 100 ants. Okay, so right now that's how they're marching. Stop, said the littlest ant. We're moving way too slow. Some food will be long gone unless we hurry up. So, with 2 lines of 20, we'd get there soon, I know. So they switched from this to this. Here are 2 lines of, 2 lines of 50. 2 lines of 20 wouldn't make sense. How many would that be?
40.
Right. With 2 lines of 50, we'd get there soon, I know. How would I write a number sentence that would show 2 groups of 50? What do you think, John?
50 plus 50.
Do I still have 100 ants?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you notice about what happened to the line? Porter?
It got a little bit smaller.
Smaller? Like thinner? Tell me more.
A little bit wider, but in like length, it got a little like shorter.
Great explanation. Snaps for Porter. All the ants raced here and there, up and down and to and fro. There will be lots of yummies for our hungry tummies.
A hey and a hi-dee-ho.
You guys are just like the little ants. 100 ants were singing and marching in 2 rows. We're going to a picnic.
A hey and a hi-dee-ho.
Stop! yelled the littlest ant. We're moving way too slow. More of the food will be gone unless we hurry up. So with 4 lines of 25, we'd get there soon, I know. All the ants raced here and there, up and down and to and fro. We hope there's yummies for our rumbling tummies.
A hey and a hi-dee-ho.
100 ants were singing and marching in 4 rows. We're going to a picnic.
A hey and a hi-dee-ho.
I need to write a number sentence that matches 4 lines of 25. What would that look like, Adam?
25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25. 100.
There's still 100 ants?
Yeah.
Quiet thumb, tell me how you know there's 100 ants still. There's so many amazing thumbs, I think I'm gonna have to pull a stick. Keegan, how do you know there's 100 ants still?
Because 25 plus 25 equals 50, and then 25 plus 25 equals 50, and you already know 50 plus 50 equals 100.
Oh, so you're saying that 2 of these equals 1 of those? Do we agree with Keegan? Porter, you look like you'd like to say something.
I know that 1 quarter is 25 cents, plus another quarter would be 50 cents, plus another quarter would be 75 cents, plus another would be $1.
Awesome. You used a money strategy. I see lots of friends doing connections with you. Stop! Screamed the littlest ant. We're moving way too slow. Unless we hurry, lots of food will be long gone unless we hurry up. So with 5 lines of 20, we'd get there soon, I know. All the ants raced here and there, up and down, to and fro. There might be a yummy for a gurgling tummy.
A hey and a hi-dee-ho.
100 ants were singing and marching in 5 rows. We're going to a picnic.
A hey and a hi-dee-ho.
What would the number sentence look like for this array? So many eager scholarly faces. Sophia?
Can I come up and write it down?
Sure. Can someone help Sophia out? You want to look at it for a second, Sophia, or ask a friend?
Oh, it's easy. Hola. Well, you didn't put the total, so we don't know how much that equals.
So we have the parts, but not the
whole.
What can you do to fix that, Soph?
So we can add up all the 20s together and then
Okay, what would your total be?
100.
There you go. Stop, and John's cheering for you fixing your mistake. Well done. Stop, shrieked the littlest ant. We're moving way too slow. All the food will be gone unless we hurry up. So with 10 lines of 10, we'd get there soon, I know. All the ants raced here and there, up, down, and to and fro. There better be yummies for our grumbling tummies.
A hey and a hi-dee-ho.
100 ants were singing and marching in 10 rows. What would the number sentence look like for this one? What would the number symbols look like, Miranda? You want to just tell me really quick?
Yeah. 10 plus 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 10 equals 100.
I didn't think you could say anything besides plus 10, Miranda. At last, we're at the picnic. Nice expression in your reading. Stop, yelled the littlest ant. We have traveled way too slow. There's no food for us to eat. You took so long with Rose. All the ants raced here and there, up and down and to and fro. There aren't any yummies for our growling tummies.
A hey and a hi-dee-ho.
Oh no. 99 ants were swarming from each and every row in the hot pursuit of one little ant who quickly turned to go. It's not all my fault, you know. No yummies for their grumbling tummies. Okay. Lola, thanks for using your college cues. Can you wait for just a second? I totally want to hear your noticing. I want to hear if other people notice things too. So we're going to sticky high five share, and then we're going to talk about what we notice about all of this. I know, it's hard to hold it. Ladies and gentlemen, Lola was starting to notice a pattern, I believe. And I would like to see what you notice when you look at this too. I want you to just have a couple, let's have some quiet think time. Adam's holding up as I'm thinking about it symbol. Taylor's looking at it and thinking. Okay. When I say go, you will sticky high five your partner, and the person with the shortest hair starts first. Ready? Go. Maya, you can share with your partner. What did you want to say?
What did you and there's like 5 pairs and they
That's the funny part of the story.
They have like 1 and then 2 and then 4 and then 5, then 10.
What happened to the picture when that was happening? I hear that most of our conversation has stopped, so snap, crackle, and pop! Harmon, I was overhearing your conversation. Can you share with the class what your noticings were?
Well, what I noticed was that I saw 100 and then it breaks apart into smaller numbers to 50 and then it breaks apart into smaller numbers to 25, and then into another smaller number to 20, and another smaller number with all tens. And one more thing I noticed was, since we had to break them apart smaller, the numbers in the row had to get bigger.
Oh, that's an interesting point. Porter?
I noticed that they all can be money pieces because 10 is 1 dime, 20 is 2 dimes, 25 is 1 quarter, 50 is 1/2 dollar or 2 quarters, and 100 is $1.
Oh.
Or 2 50-cent pieces.
So there must be a lot of different ways to break 100 into groups. Hocus pocus.
Everybody focus!
Did any of our groups look like this? No?
No.
What do you notice about them? Wiley?
They're all shrinking down.
Oh, you're right. They were shrinking down. That's a good point. Miranda?
They're all even.
So if they're all even, they must be what kind of groups?
Even groups.
It's an even number in each group. So in order to be an array, you have to have the same number. Like there's 50 in this row and 50 in this row. 25, 25, 25, and 25. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have so much amazing math to talk about, and I want to get you started on your activity. So I would like for you to go through an example with me. You are going to, you're going to arrange your ants, but we're going to have different numbers of ants. I'm going to have 30 ants. I have you grouped with a partner. You have a must-do number. You're going to make as many arrays for that number as you possibly can, just like we made a bunch for 100. My number was 30, and you all are my partner. Does anyone think of a way that I could break up 30 or I could decompose 30 that would have equal groups? Why don't you go ahead and turn and talk to your partner really quick.
10 plus 10 plus 10.
Taylor, what's one way I could make an array with 30?
You could do 25 plus 5.
Would that be equal groups?
Oh, then you could do 10 plus 10 plus 10.
Okay, would that be equal groups?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do 10 plus 10 plus 10. What would my number sentence look like, Taylor?
10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 30.
Does anyone have a different one? Adam?
20 plus 10.
Okay. So that would be a row of 20 and a row of 10. Would those be equal groups? Okay, keep thinking about it. If you get a different one, raise your thumb. Gerline?
15 plus 15.
It's not gonna stay. Gerline, what would my number sentence look like?
15 plus 15.
Go ahead, finish your number sentence.
Equals 30.
Another one? Maya?
Can I write it down? Or?
Can you just tell me really quickly?
Okay. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5.
So how many fives did you have there?
Six.
Okay, so tell me your number sentence.
5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 30.
I have a challenge question for you. There's other ones. I have other ones, but I want you to think about, what if our ants turned directions and they were marching that way? How would my number sentence change? Liliana?
It would change because now it would be the even numbers in rows. So it would be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Plus 3. Plus 3. Plus 3. Plus 3. Plus 3 equals 30.
Wait a minute, but I don't get it because this is the same as this one.
Yes, but now since it's not on its side, it's not on its side anymore. It's not 10 plus 10 plus 10. Now that it's straight up in rows, it's 3 plus 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 3.
So you're saying these have the same amount, but they're just distributed differently.
Yes, because they're in a different direction.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to be ant wranglers. Today we're gonna, instead of being mathematicians, we're gonna be ant wranglers. And you are going to, your materials when I call you are going to include, I will call you and a partner. You will have your name and you'll get a must-do number. If you finish your must-do number and you have time, you may go on to your may-do number. But I want you to make as many arrays and number sentences just like mine as you can with your number.
Got it.
Okay, and I will call you with your partner. So I've handled partners and I've handled numbers. The materials you're going to need are your construction paper. That's one way. That's a great starting place. So Wiley, if one row is 20, where will you get the other 5? Berlin. Good job. You can cut the papers however you like. It's your tool to use as you see fit. Sure. It's your tool to use as you see fit.
Good.
All glue you cut out.
Natalie, what are you working on?
Here's 10. I'm going to cut out another 10.
Sorry.
I'm going to go get a stool.
Wait.
Bring a stool over.
I made it. Okay.
No, we have to make different. We 20 plus 0, 10 plus 10. That's 10. Just let me do it. How much Well, however,
Can you explain to Natalie what you're doing?
why are we almost supposed to do it like this?
I don't want to do that.
an array for 13?
Because it says on right now. So odd number and a half doubles. Yeah. Some odd numbers to do. Some odd numbers like 9 or 6 or 6. But 13 can't do it.
So I hear you saying that you think there's only, the only way you can do it is one row of 13.
I'm thinking if there is any other ways. I have brought anything,
So Keegan, I want to show you something. What's the difference between this and this?
I did it. 19. Now I just gotta cut out 1. Here's 10 plus 10. Here's our 10 plus 10. So you can. So we got 1. Now I gotta cut out.
Hey Keegan, that was a really interesting math discovery you just made.
We can just do it the other way around, just this way. Oh, good idea. You're using my glue. Okay. Yeah. I'm just going to.
As long as you label it and I can tell which number sentence goes with which picture, that's fine with me. You can put them however you want on the paper.
I do this one. Yeah. You do that one. Now I'm going to figure 4, 6, 7, 8.
I did this way. I did this way to do the 5.
Okay. 5 this way. And then you go like that. So now you cut out.
Okay, so Lola, I'm hearing you say that one way it's this way, and then another way it's this way, like we had up there. Of course you can do that, because they're different, sure.
4 Let me see. Yeah, no, that'll be too hard.
I did the same thing.
You won't have that much. Okay. So here's 4. So you don't care about others? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I want to make sure that we're on topic and that I'm hearing math conversations. You should be talking to your partner about math.
You're thinking of doing 5 and 5
I would like for you to go talk to Keegan and Liliana about what they discovered about 13.
So 5 rows of 5.
See if you can compare notes, if you discovered the same kind of thing.
That's not that smart. 2, 4, 6, 8.
How's it going over here?
Good.
What are you guys working on?
How to make 20. So far we've done 10 plus 10. We're doing 19 plus 1.
This is 1 from. Because that's here, and then this is 1
19.
Wait a second.
Look at my cutting. It's not even at all.
Would 19 and 1 be an equal group?
Oh.
I think you're starting to do decomposing. What's the difference between decomposing and arrays?
An array is equal groups, and decomposing is breaking it up into different parts to make it easier.
Exactly. So maybe we kind of decomposed 30 in a lot of different ways, but we have to decompose it into equal groups. That's what makes it an array. So you're right, they're related, but they're different.
Okay.
Could we put 19 right here and then 1 right here?
Well, could you?
Just use my.
Talk to your partner. Say, would that work?
I don't think that would work because an array is equal groups and decomposing is breaking it up.
That's fine.
Okay, that's fine. I know what we can do. We can do. I know I'm on a right with this one since you are.
Oh, this
Is this number sentence the same as this number
What else
sentence?
can we do?
This is one long row of 13.
How many triangles?
This is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Now, what else?
So what number sentence would match that picture? Well, we have to persevere.
Everybody's kind of all right.
Yeah, everybody's card's a little bit different. Show me what you guys are finding so far.
30. This is ours. Not the major. Let's do 16. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3 gives you back plus 2 plus 2.
Wait a second, are these the same?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Tilted a different way, like
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 plus 1.
3 rules of 5.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 2 groups of 8, and this is 8 groups of 2, but they both equal 16?
Mathematician. And then
Put it right.
Okay.
No,
Cool.
wrong way. Yeah, wait, let me see.
And then for the mustard, I'm doing.
D was a 5.
What am I doing?
So 5.
What did, oh,
So it's 5.
9.
Is it
5 plus 15, 20.
Are you so happy there's no glue sticks?
She's gonna be happy with okay. She's gonna say can't.
What are you guys working on now?
And then, yeah, I looked at
You looked on what chart and realized it was even?
on that number line chart and I realized it was even because it was blue. And then so I went on the paper and I did 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 10 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 24. But I'm gonna do another one this way. That's the same thing.
So you used the number chart to help you with this, and then you broke it into groups to make sure it was equal?
Yes.
I'm making just a row.
But I did it this way. But when I do it this way, it's going to be 3.
So you drew this picture, and then you cut it out?
I drew that picture, but I was going to do it straight first.
Cool.
Okay.
Where's your glue stick, Keegan?
I've already read. So what do you glue? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18, we need 2 more.
Let's make sure.
1, 2, 4, 5.
Gerline, is this an equal group?
5 plus 5.
But does it look like this or like this?
Honey, I can't get to the Band-Aids right now.
You're gonna be okay. That's 1 row of 10. How can you make this 2 5s? Maybe look up here.
Ooh, I got an idea. You can do 1.
You're right, you could use your plus 1s again. There you go. Gerline, why did you change it to be that way? Hocus pocus! I'm going to give you a 2-minute warning. You guys are working so hard and you're doing such a great job. Remember, you didn't have to get to your may-do. So I'm giving you 2 more minutes to wrangle these ants. Get them in line for the picnic.
Do 5 plus 5
Quarter.
plus 5 plus 5.
I want to help you with something. Do these look like up there? What could we do to help those look like the arrays? Okay, so show me how you would fix that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Watch.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean,
No. Oh no.
Can you go on an adventure with me for a second? Come on. Okay, so this is 2 rows of 50. What you're doing is 2 groups with 50 in them. Do you see the difference? These are 2 rows of 50. You're making groups, but they're not exactly arrays because they're not. How can you fix the ones that you have? Let's go look at the ones that you have again. Yes, ma'am.
When doing a line of 15 and a
Okay, let's talk to her about it.
Where's my paper?
Okay, Miranda, tell me what this number is. Okay, what is this number sentence? Well, this is 1 row of 15. This is 1 row of 1. Can you put that down in the paper? This is 1 row of 1,
And then
2
you should
rows of 1,
do it
3 rows of 1, 4 rows of 1. This is 1 row of 15. How are these different?
I was just like these two. Hey, Lily, look, it goes all the way up to here.
You're right, but these are 2 different things. If this was a row, there's 15 in this row. How many are in this row? Just this row. Nope, just look at that 1 square. How many's in just this row? Yep, so put your 1 down. How many's in this row? Okay, so plus. How many's in this row? Yep. How many's in this row?
Oh yeah, I should do that.
What's the difference of this and that?
I get to cut.
Okay, so this is 15 rows with just 1 in it.
Put it up this way.
And this is 1 long row of 15. This is like if I had snap cubes and I put 15 of them together. But this is like 1 snap cube, and then I snap on another snap cube, and I snap on another, and I add them 1 at a time. So this one would be 1 plus 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 1 equals 15. Lola, do you understand? Okay, we can talk about
I
that.
want to make another purple blob.
Ready, set, stop.
Hands on top.
Okay. Thank you. I have most of the tigers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to do probably the hardest thing to do when we're being amazing mathematicians. I'm going to ask you to stop. We're going to talk about some of our findings. This is an activity that we can do as a workstation later, so we'll continue with this later. But I want to talk about what we found. But first, when I say go, I want you to put the glue sticks and the scissors in the buckets. I want you to put your pens and your pencils down and be turned so that you can listen to the presenters up front. So we're gonna leave everything alone. Think we can do that by the time we get to 0 from 10? Yeah. Okay, ready? Go, Gertz. Malaya.
So, Minnie and Minnie thought that we could do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 15.
So that'd be 5 rows of 3. And then we did 3 rows of 5.
So 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 15.
And then we did
1 plus 1.
1 row of 15. 1 plus 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Did you have any other samples on there?
No, because there wasn't that much of time.
Are there any questions for Manny and Malaya?
Lily.
Were you surprised when you got your number?
Not really.
Any other questions?
Simon.
Was finding your answers easy or hard?
Yeah, easy, but it was kind of hard to cut because Manny.
We accidentally cut this part off.
Yeah, and
Okay, thank you, Manny and Malaya. Lily, Anna, and Kian, can you come share what you found about your number that you had? Oh, Keegan, I think you just pushed Lily on out of the chair.
we got 13. But and since we had this was an odd number and it didn't have any doubles facts, we could only do 2. And it might be hard to see, but this one is down, and it's like 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 with 1 plus 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 1. And the other one is facing short at like not how wide, but the length of up and down. It's 13 also, so it's 13 plus 0 equals 13, and we have, and that's home.
Keegan, where did the plus 0 come from?
Because the plus 0, because the plus 0 was because you didn't add anything, but you had to make it a sentence, so you had to add the 0.
Okay.
To actually make it a number sentence.
So you did that to make it a number sentence. That's interesting. Could it just be that the top number is 13? The one that you did going across is 13. It's just one row of 13?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It is one row.
Kian, what is the difference between one row of 13 and 13 ones?
They're one's facing a different way.
Okay.
And they're making more rows.
Okay. All right. Harmon and Taylor, thank you. Kian and Liliana. Harmon and Taylor are going to be our last sharers today.
So, what me and Taylor did was
4 plus 4
plus 4.
What was your number?
Oh, our number was 40.
And so, what we did 4 plus 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 4 equals 40.
So how many rows would that, how many would that have been?
How many rows?
How many times did you add 4?
We added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 times.
Okay, so 10 groups of 4.
Yes. And then we did 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 equals 40.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And another one we did was, you might not be able to see this, but it's way at the bottom. And we did 20 plus 20 equals 40.
And then our last one we did was 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 equals 40.
Okay. Awesome. Good job, Taylor and Harlan. Thank you so much. Okay. Hey, Memphis Tigers. Ready to rock?
Ready to roll!
What did we work on today? What was our math work of the day? Why don't you go ahead and discuss it with your partner and then we're going to share out. What did we work on today?
Array is trying to build numbers in equal parts, and so also our lesson today was trying to break apart numbers and learn how to make an array out of different numbers.
The question is, what was our math work of the day? What was our learning? What did we work on? Told someone who was absent. Porter.
Well, the math that we were working on today was how to make different arrays with different numbers.
John.
With even and odd.
Even and odd numbers because some people had 11 or 13. Herman, would you like to add on one last thing?
Yeah, it's what we're doing is arrays that we can put in columns or rows even if it's longer.
That was a great thing to add on. Okay, Memphis Tigers, big stretch. Give your brain a kiss. Good thinking today, brain.